one moment. Let me do the thing there. Hello and welcome back. We're going to take a little look at persistent world saving. We were trying to figure this one out the last stream. Well, at least close to the end of the last stream, but we couldn't quite figure out how to do that. We tried to use the instance to text. What's it called? Instance to... What's the name? Inst to dictionary function, but that didn't work for whatever reason. So we're gonna take a look at alternatives. We're going to do a little search on DuckDuckGo and figure out how other game developers handle world persistence. And in particular, what we want to find out is how we can best both save and provide the state of the entire world to new players. So let's dive into that. Let me turn off the server and get a window up here. Let's see. Data preservance, how to save load game data in Unity. Online RTS with a persistent world. I guess we can just open a few links and take a look here. Now, what I'm trying to find out is not code. I'm trying to find out strategies, concepts, ideas of how you would do this. And the best scenario for us would be to find another game developer's blog or something like that that have encountered and dealt with these challenges, so we can take knowledge from that. Well, let's just open a few windows, take a look and see what you can find here. This is a Trello board. Okay, I don't think this is the right place to look here. How to design player attribute updates in persistent game worlds. Okay, this is not what we need. Let's see. What's the question here? Persistent goals in a persistent world. Yes. There's a lot of text there and no new lines to separate conversations. I'm just browsing through this and hope that we can find some clues. I mean, we could just invent the wheel ourselves. But there is a risk if we were to do that, and the risk is we may end up having to redo everything later on if we don't do it right from the beginning, and I would like to avoid that if I can. So what I'm really trying to find out is what you would save. Let's see. Game development. How to handle world persistence. No, I did read some information in regards of networking. Here's the one. It's an article from Gama Sutra about how the Age of Empires multiplayer game was handled. Considering you have a lot of units and there's a lot of things going on in the world at the same time. So they explain how they tackle that problem, and the most beneficial solution for them was to use the simultaneous simulations meaning that you basically load the same world on both the players as they start up. We cannot do that, not in the same way, because we are going to be in an ongoing world. There is no start and end of the world. It's just going to be a start, and that's it. But we can take lessons from this, because what we are learning from this is that all we really have to do is keep track of everything on our server. And by that I mean we keep track of what the players are doing, not necessarily every entity and whatnot. I mean, we are going to do that as well, but what I mean is the difficult job with the network communication is not loading the world. It will be every single interaction the player has with the world. And even movement is not that big deal to handle. So when a player decides to destroy a tree, well, we're gonna simulate that on the server side, which then synchronize with the other players, and that alone, nothing else. Nothing else around the world is something the server is going to, directly have something to do with, unless a player wants to interact with something in the world, in which case they have to go through the server and through the other players to inform the other players that something has happened here, or this player is trying to do some action or whatever. We were also looking a little bit at the how we can achieve a supposedly how we can make actions appear to be executing in real time, because every player will have a different ping, a different network connection speed, and we can actually see this occur in our own game when we have more than one client instance. The fast player, when it moves, then you can notice that it's kind of lagging. It's not lagging, but you can see a little frame twitching. It's almost, I mean, it's insignificant really, but you can notice it on the other player a little bit. And that's because we have this frame jumping, because we're just pumping out all the information. We're moving, and we don't care whether or not you receive it or not. We just want to inform it as fast as possible. So I'm going to be looking at how we can predict movement on the client side, so to make it appear more, natural. But we will work on that a bit later. Right now we have to focus on the server persistence. So I'm trying to find some material on this, but I haven't succeeded with that. Let's take a look here. Persistent worlds. I'm not going to be reading out this all aloud because that's going to take a long time. So I'm just going to browse a little through this and see if I can't get a few pieces of information that we may use. Multiplayer persistence is tricky. Have anyone of you played Mud? The type of Mud games. It's an old type of console games that you could kind of role play with a long time ago now. But they still exist. I'm sure if you Google Mud games, you can find people that are still playing these kinds of games, and they can be fun. I haven't done it, but I can relate from other role-playing games such as, Dungeons and Dragons, Rafts, and actual pen and paper role-playing games. Let's see. World and data, yes. Give us the info we need here, come on. Equally is probably related to human. There's a lot of talk about it, but there's no actual There's no information about how it's achieved. It's just talking about it and the importance of it, it seems. Okay. Oh, absolutely not. You get the client, you get some data directly from the database? No. Oh my god. Photon is a multiple what's it called? Network solution, or whatever you want to call it, a package you can use for, was it Unreal or Unity or both? Let's see. If you want to run your instance on server side, then you need to add choose Proton Photon. But that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for a finished solution for networking. We're looking for information about how people would handle, excuse me, world persistence. I mean, we could just do it, go ahead and do it, and save the information we think we need without doing any research, but I figure it's the best way to research this before we just jump into the world persistent coding. But it's not just the saving that's the challenge. We have to have a virtual node of everything that's in the world on the server side that the other clients can interact with, such as the pistol, which we tried to set up the last stream. Let's see if I can't find the client here. On our last stream, we played around with adding a pistol to figure out how it would sorry about that. How it would work when we are setting up server-side ownership. Right now, if I were to add this pistol in the world somehow, it would be the clients. The client would own this. No other client would see that pistol unless they were to run the same world instance as we're doing here. So what I want to do is, instead of the client project to run and add the world, we want the server to have the world set up. And to do that, we need to be able to save certain information. Such as what it is we want to have placed, where it is placed, and maybe other data we might be interested in. Now this is just a code that has to do with this entity by itself. If this is near a player, we're just gonna, have an effect that will spin around. And then we would like to show an interaction window, and the way we do that is, well, that is when we had our challenge last time with the server problem and the client problems. Because who's going to be doing this? Is the pistol going to tell the server to tell the client to show this window, or should we just show the client the window directly? Let's try this. I would like to try this. We will test with 2 clients. And I'm going to see if this interaction window would behave the way I would hope it would, which is to show up only on the player that's actually getting close to it. And I believe that is the case. Which means we don't need this one, I believe. Because it's not the server side. This is not the server side. Comment this out. Control K. Let's create a an instance of the message box, which we have played around with last time. Let's empty the text here. NA. So in our pistol code, we need to spawn that message box somehow. So let's load the message box if I can find the path to it. GUI message box, there it is. Let's copy the path. If I can find, there it is. Let's add it there. Let's put it outside here, I guess, because we want to re-instance this every time a player shows up, I believe. So let's first get the player node, which we already have here, because this is triggered by the body entered and body exit signals. So in the body entered, if it's a player, then I'm gonna show the interaction window. So let's create an instance of this first. This is gonna be our message box instance. What do we want to do with this? Well, we want to show it to the player, so I guess we can first just add it to the world somewhere. I guess we might as well add it to ourselves, maybe? Or maybe we want to show a pop-up window. No, it would make more sense that there would be a little box maybe floating by the side. I don't know. This is kind of issues we'll have to, you know, improve as we go along. For now, it's enough to just get the information out there somehow. So let's just add it as our own child and see how it appears. So this is on our self though, and the self is just a pistol node. So if the pistol node disappears, the message box will also disappear. But there's a little problem. We are currently creating a new message box and add it to the child, and we might have to remove the child if we want to do that. But there might be an easier way. Perhaps it will be even easier to create a ready function, and in the ready function we just create it and hide it, and then we just show it whenever a player is nearby and update the text to something more relevant if we need. So let's try that and see if that would make more sense. So in the show interaction window then, I guess we would just, well, enable the message box. And while I'm here, I'm going to create an instance. So on ready var message box, we're going to be, well, guys, can we preload this? Is this allowed? Let's try that. And then we're going to add it as a child of ourselves after we have hidden this. So after this is, you know, hidden from sight, we are adding it onto the pistol scene. So that should mean, hopefully, why is that on there? So hopefully that should mean that the message box can simply be shown. But before that, we probably want to add some text to it, don't we? Perhaps we want to add a label. Let's see, message box label. Let's take a look. Let's try this. Text equals press E to pick me up. If that works. Instance, yes. Hide. I guess I have to use get node. Let's try that. That seems to work. Okay. Let's add the player to the world and we can try it out ourselves. Let's add it under entities. Let's find a instance named message box. That's wrong. Pistol. There it is. Let's hit the play button. Is the server on? The server is not running, so let's run this. Now we have our console window down there. Hit play here, let's take a look. Join, connect. I have connected. Let's find the pistol, there it is. Oh boy, press E to pick me up. Now that's very ugly, but it works. That's good. But it's not gonna disappear now because we did not add that functionality. Let's see. Let me close this, open this again, take a look what we can do here. Now, it seems to be enough to just hide it. And this may be static text, so we might be able to just put it here. And then just show and hide it, you know. We don't need anything special, do we? Well, there is something I would like to try out. I would like to be able to position the box, not on top of our player, but maybe on the side of our player. So when the player moves, the box kind of moves around it, so they don't overlap at any point as long as they're nearby. And that could be a cool effect, wouldn't it? I think that would be a cool effect. Let's try join game connect. So when I go to the pistol, it's gonna be pop up, gone. Hello, happy pistol, sad pistol. Happy pistol, sad pistol. Now we don't have any functionality yet, so even if press E, nothing's gonna happen. We will get to that later on. First, we need to get the server persistence up and working, so we don't do this the wrong way. Because we may have to come back and re-implement everything again once we add the server functionality. By making the server be the one that tells the player when they join the game where everything is, and then keep all the players synchronized whenever a player does something. But yeah, how can we make the text move around, or at least not overlap? Because now it's just being set on the item. I mean, I guess it's kind of fine. I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Let's think. If we don't want an overlap, we may have to do some math. So maybe we'll wait with that until later, because that's going to take probably half an hour or maybe an hour even, because, you know, things have a tendency to be more complicated than you would expect. So for now, this is fine. We have a message box. It just tells us what we have to do now when we get near an item. That's good, and it's just the items that own that functionality. We, the player, has nothing to do with this. But we'll definitely change it later on. Let's see here. Well, back to server persistence. We were trying to use a inst-to-dict on the pistol node here. Now the way we're going to do this later on, when we are actually starting to design a world, we are going to be having a procedural generated world. Because when we are creating a new server, new level, without any previous entities, the server is going to pretty much be empty. There's not going to be any entities. We are going to have, let's say, I guess we can call them resources? Resources or harvestable. You know, I don't know what to name this category, but it will basically be like trees, rocks, iron, grass. Well, maybe not grass. Grass will be probably an environmental. So we probably have another node called environmental, which is more, you know, beauty, I guess. And all of this will be interactable. Every single thing the server is going to generate is going to be manipulatable by the player. You will be able to dig roads. You will be able to craft a building. You will be able to, you know, harvest a tree, get the wood. You know, build a I don't know, a wall, a door, wall, floor. Stairs, go upstairs, build floor, and so on. Like it'll be free to do whatever you want. It's going to be a blank slate from the beginning. At least that's what we're gonna work on first, once we get that far. Let me just save it. We can leave this for now. We may change this later on, but for now it's fine. So back to the pistol here. We were trying to do some tests and figure out what we really need in order to populate the world. Because right now, what I want to simulate is that the world has been loaded before, and a player has created a pistol and placed it on the ground somewhere. And once we shut off the server and reload the server, that's what we're trying to achieve now. We're trying to achieve the point where we can load that information where we have a pistol on the ground somewhere. Let me just move around this and mess this up a little bit here. Ah, there it is. Okay, you go there. You go there. Come on, there it is. There it is. Okay. So back to our data. What data do we need? Let's open our mock-up of our world entities list. Last time we tried to figure out what we need to save. So I figured we need an ID. We need to know what it is we want to spawn on the client side, and what we have saved on our own side as well. We need to know where it's going to be spawning, where we're gonna place the item, this item. I need to know if there's any additional data besides the default instance of the pistol with this ID. So I figure, okay, let's say we have a pistol level 5. I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but just for testing purposes. And we have a variable that says that this color is red. Also just for testing purposes, because we want to be able to have small differences between the same weapon. Maybe we have quality. Maybe the person or the player that crafted this have a higher crafting level than other players that made it. So maybe we would have a quality property. But that again can be probably put in the data level here. So we have a data quality, and the quality can be, let's say, I don't know, 4, whatever it means. I don't know. Maybe it's a low, maybe it's high, maybe 100 is like the best quality you can have. So 4 is low. I don't know. But the point is, we still need to be flexible enough to allow that additional data to be stored. So not only do we need to be able to load this, we need to be able to save this. And that is what we are trying to be doing here in a world. So how are we going to save the world is what I'm trying to figure out here. What's the best course of action? For testing purposes, when I load this world, I would like to be able to just save right away. So I can get a JSON file somewhere and see what we get. Let's see if we can't make some test save world. How are we going to do that? Well, we need to save the data and load the data. For now, I'm going to be using an interface. Well, an interface, because this is Godot, we don't actually have interfaces. We are going to... We want to get entities. We want to get a list of entities. Entities list, I guess. Which will be nodes, because we want to place this inside the entities node. So we want to do something here. Now we want to get it somehow. That's a magic we have to find out. No wait, that's a loading. Sorry, I'm messing this up here. I'm not quite myself today. Test load. Okay, let's do this. Focus on the saving. Okay, we need to get the list of entities. Okay, let's get a list. That's easy enough, right? We have our entities, right? So can we get all children? Can we get children? That should be fine, right? So get children, reference an array of reference of to nodes children. That seems about right. Okay, so now we have entities. How do we save this? What if we can do this? And I'm thinking out loud because that's what the stream is all about. For each entity in the entities list, I want to be able to I guess save it. But before that, we may need to add that to another list, to a entities JSON. Entities text list. I don't know. Something entities, saved entities. I don't know. And that's gonna be an array. But this is what we're going to be saving in the file, I think, which will have the form of an array. So for each entity, I have to be able to append the entity save. How do you do this? Well, in our children of the entities, we need to probably create a save function. Currently, we only have one pistol, so I'm going to test with only one pistol. So let's try this save function. Let's try and see if we can make that and return whatever we need. What do we need? We need well, we need a position. So we need actually, let's take a look. What do we need? ID, position, data. Let me push that to the right. Push this to the left. Drag this a little bit here. If only I could see more and less at the same time. This is good enough. We need to save basically this. You know, more or less. This is what we want to save. How can I do that? Can I save certain data as a... yes, I can. We create a dictionary. Yes. Save dictionary. It's going to be... So let's save dictionary. And the first is going to be the ID. So on the ID, we're going to store pistol 01. That's the ID for our pistol. And then we're going to do the same for a position, but we're going to store our position directly here. And I'm a bit unsure how this is going to be stored as a vector 2D in an array. So this will be interesting to see how it will be saved. So we can actually adjust this to be, fitable for a vector 2 directly. So we can just reverse this and get a position directly into a vector 2. Instead of trying to get X and Y or first and second position as we would here. Let's see, we need data. In the data, we want another dictionary, I guess. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, so please bear with me. Let me try this out here. Can I do this? Am I allowed? Will you permit me to do this? Because if I can, that would make our life even easier when we work on this. Okay, it's going to be level 5. It's going to have a color of this value here, FF0000. Could you have pasted the dictionary and replaced the values with desired values? Maybe. I don't know. We still have to test this out. I'm hoping we can do that. I would like to be able to do that. That's why I'm trying to save this now. Save the data and manually get the data. But all of this is going to be from an interface. Well, not interface. A parent entity script. So we're going to add this. So all our entities is going to inherit the function that has this. And then we're going to create another function that will be the implementer. That we will have to update for each entity. So in order to get the data we need from that entity. And this is only needed on the server side. The players don't need to know about this. All the players need is the data. We need to send the data, basically. We don't need to save the data. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. That's also a chance. Let's see here. Return save dictionary. So let's see what we get from this. What is this? It did not like that one. But that's because, oh yeah, that doesn't work. This has to be public position. My bad, my bad. Hold on. Let's take a look at the client. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's possible too. My god, my allergies. Let's see, the client window. Let's take a look at the pistol and see what we have here. We are currently not saving anything. We don't have a puppet here yet on our pistol. We did mess around a little bit with the message box and some other things. But we need certain data to be synchronized with the server. What? Because when we spawn this pistol by dropping it on the ground, because the server is not going to create this pistol from nowhere. We don't generate a pistol on the level somewhere when we start a new server. So we need to store the position of our pistol in like immediately. Whenever this exists, we're gonna store it. So we're gonna create a puppet. Puppet var puppet position, and that's gonna be a vector 2. And we're gonna set this to be our own position. I hope this will be right. We'll find out once we get further ahead. Let's see. But what I also realized now, I can hide the message box from default, so I don't need to hide this from the code, and that will save us a few lines of code, which would be nice to have. And we also, well, another thing, I would like to be able to just tell the message box directly. Just set the text to press E to pick me up, so we can remove all this get no label text, And the way we do that is by adding a script to the message box. And that's gonna have a variable called text. By default it's empty, or NA, so we know nothing has been set. So in our func ready, we're gonna set the text on our label. So we'll get our label text equals text. Done. Let's close this. Let's go back here. So now it's a little more simpler to work with, at least. Show interaction window, hide interaction window. But I realize we don't need these tone function anymore because we don't have any additional. There's not anything special that's happening in here just yet. We might change it later, but not now. We're trying to make it a little more maintainable, I guess. Okay, so what do we need? We need the puppet position. We need to update the position whenever it's changed. Perhaps we can do that. Can I make a set get for the position? That would be nice if I could. I don't know. Let's try this and see if it works though. Oh, hold on. There's an issue here. We want to hide the box when we, meaning this body, has left. So it should be here. Hold on, let me think. Let me think. I don't know if this is gonna work. I have to test this. Let's hit play. Because I suspect it's not gonna be accurate because we have 2 players here. Here's the second client. The server is not online. Let's restart the server. Invalid data index. Okay, that's not gonna work. Yeah, how about this? How about this? I do this, and then it should possibly work. Maybe. I think it should work now. Let's try it out. Okay, level 3. There we go. But this is not what we're testing right now. What we need to test now is just the client. There's the one, and here's the second. Oh my god, collision. Okay, let's go to the pistol, take a look here. It should spin, message gone, message gone. Let's take a look at the other player now, because I suspect it's gonna show. Yeah, it's showing for both. We don't want that. So what we want to do is we want to show this to the player that gets close to it. And that will make it a little more complicated, because that means we will have to add a remote signal. And I feel that this stream is going to be a bit shorter than normal today. I'm not quite myself today, I'm afraid. Let's just see if we can fix this first then. And I'm going to do some work for next time, tomorrow, and see if we can't finally finish this. So what we can do is now, because this is it's not really a important signal. This is not something we need to bother the server about. That a player gets a message from an entity that you can pick me up. The message itself doesn't mean anything. It's not gonna allow the players to actually pick it up. It's something else that will do that. But at least the message we can possibly tell the player directly. So our player node, we want to get the player ID. I'm a little unsure how I'm going to do that. Let me think. Get name. The name of the body is a peer ID. Because every player will have a peer ID set as the name. What else? Well, we need to send a message, RPCID, to this player that we want to show, show message box. And I guess we can send the, no, we don't need that either, just show message box. I think that should be fine. And we do it, and we add this remote function on this entity. I hope this is the right way to do this. Let's find out here. Show message box, and we're taking nothing. We just want to know if we want to show or hide this. So hopefully, wait. No, there may be a different way to do this. If it's, let's try this. I want to see if this is right. I just had a little realization here, because each client, because if another player goes here, if this is not me now, but a different player is going here, this should be false, so we're not going to show the window. So, but the other player will receive the window. Oh, so we don't need this. I'm hoping. Let's comment that out. Let's try it out here. Client, close this. Hit play on this one as well. Join game, connect. Did I kill the server? Let's take a look at the server. I did kill the server. Let's start the server and try again. There we go. 2 of me. Oh my god. The one is an imposter. Okay, that did not work out, it seems. Let's see. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Let me think. There was a way to set... Let me think. Let me open up the... I think we had an example. Maybe not. Never mind. Maybe that's not it. That's not it. Should be a way to do that. Let's see. I can vaguely remember something. Get network unique ID. Get network unique ID. Server. Get network. No, hold on. We have the server here. Where's the server? There. This script. Set network pair network. Get 3. Player data. This is us. If this is us, how do I know if this is us? Set network master. Okay, let's try the other way I tried it before here. Let's see, look here. Remote, funk, show, message box. Let's show it. Where is it? There it is. So we're sending a message to this peer ID that joined. Enter this to show the message box. And when that peer leaves, we want it to hide. So if this node leaves it, wait, no, where? Yeah, that's yeah, that should be right. Maybe. Hold on, who is sending message? I don't know. There should be a way to get the callers, get callers RPC, get RPC sender ID. There, that's the one. And then we make the hide equivalent. We should hide it. I want to see what this, how this is going to behave. Server is still running, I hope. Yes. Join game. God. Same spawn position, so we are kinda, you know. Let's see here. Ah, very good. Okay, so it does work. I see it, but the other player does not. Oh, and I do see it here. Yeah, very good. Okay, it works perfectly. Okay, that's good. I would like to see the login though. Let's see. Debugger output. What is this? What is this nonsense here? Is this a new issue? Or this one? Okay, it's not printing. What is this? What is this? Oh my god. Huh. Well, on the bright side, it seems to be working now. So we got that handled. We're gonna continue this tomorrow when I have a little more energy, and we'll start a little earlier and not so late this time, and we will see where we will get with the server persistence. So until then, thank you for watching and liking and subscribing and following and all that.